I don't know what practice we just had this morning. It's about halfway through training camp, though. We've made some progress. We scrimmaged a little bit this morning, and the last time we're going to scrimmage is at the Fan Fest on Saturday. So, you know, hopefully we'll have some people there that want to see what kind of football players we have and see what's going on with maybe a difference in offense or defense, but hopefully we'll have some people there to watch since it's the last full-speed action we'll do until the first game.
So it won't be like a situational kind of scrimmage, it'll be like a game?
Well, we're going to, I mean, we're not dividing the team up. It's going to be offense versus defense the whole time. But it won't be situational. I mean, we're going to start out doing some kicking stuff, punts and punt returns. We're actually going to kick off and kickoff return as part of the scrimmage. The first half, we'll just run an offense out there, and they keep going until they get stopped, and we'll punt the ball without any return guys out there and catch or have just the return guy out there, and he'll catch the ball, and that's the other offense starts from there. The first half, we're going to time it like a real game, so when the incomplete pass, the clock stops, get a first down. It doesn't start again until they set the chains and all those sort of things. We'll have officials. We'll mark off all penalties just like a regular game. We're actually going to go in at halftime and practice our halftime procedures, where we got them on in different locker rooms, and we'll talk on the chalkboard and all that kind of stuff and pretend like we're making halftime adjustments, and then we'll go back out there, and the second half we'll do the same thing. First half we're going to time it like a real game. Second half we're going to let the clock run, so the second half will be much shorter because the clock will just run. And there are no winners and losers because you never know, just like the scrimmage today. Sometimes the first offense was against the third defense. Sometimes the third offense was against the first defense. Sometimes it was one against ones.
And you said that's the last scrimmage before the season?
Saturday will be the last scrimmage. Now, we might, during the rest of the camp, we might have some of the young guys scrimmage a little bit, but the guys are going to play in the first game. That's the last time they'll go full speed this Saturday.
Overall, Rocky, how would you assess this fall camp so far?
I think we've made some progress, especially with younger guys that we're counting on for depth. I thought the scrimmage this morning was really ragged. And that's kind of normal for this time in camp because they're tired, they're sore, they just assume play a game. When I was a player, all I wanted to do was play the games and the heck with practice, and that was kind of their attitude today.
You kind of talk about depth for the young guys. Right now, there's 5 running backs. Is there any thought that you might want to redshirt one of them, or is that in the discussion, or are you just going to let them all play this year?
No, if everybody stays healthy, the freshman will redshirt the freshman, Juwan Washington. He'll redshirt if everybody stays healthy.
How about other young guys you're referring to as far as depth? Who have you liked this camp?
Oh, I think we have 3 young linebackers, maybe 4, that have the athletic ability to play this year. Obviously, our defense is a heck of a lot more complicated than what they're used to because they're struggling with assignments and where to line up and those sort of things. But both of our junior college guys, Austin Wyatt there, I don't know if it's just Austin Wyatt now or that's what I've been told. Randy Ricks, they're both physically ready to play. And then Ron Lee Lakalaka. And you laughing the way I said it right? I just stumbled a little bit. And Kiava Tazino, they're both ready physically to play. They're big enough, they're strong enough, they're quick enough, they run around, they're aggressive enough. Now, in the next 2 weeks, if we can just teach them where to line up and what their assignment is, they might play.
I think I counted at least 2 compliments for Randy Ricks today.
As opposed to the 25 negatives? The negative comments? Did you hear those too?
Yeah, but you know, because we're used to the negative ones,
The positive ones stick out?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Is he looking pretty good, Rocky? Randy?
I'm going to say that he's physically got the possibilities to be a good player. Obviously, what we're doing is a whole lot more complicated than what he's done the last 2 years, because half the time he's lost. He has trouble getting lined up, and he has trouble knowing what his assignments are. And the quickest way to get beat is have someone out there that doesn't know his assignments.
Coach, how comfortable are you right now with your center position?
As comfortable as I can be until we play somebody else besides ourselves.
And quarterback.
The larger picture of the offensive line.
I think the starting offensive line is going to be just fine. You get into the second team and you're going to be playing some guys that haven't played at this level before, and maybe even we have a transfer from UAB, and then we have and he's a walk-on, and we have a offensive lineman out of junior college that's a walk-on, and then we got a couple freshmen that are playing in the second offensive line. And they're physically okay, but here again, they're not used to the speed of the game. If those guys are against the third defense, they're just fine. If they're against the first defense, half the defensive linemen are in the backfield, so they have to get up to speed. So so the depth is a concerning factor in the offensive line. I think the starting offensive line's okay, pretty good.
Pass protection wise, what do you think of that?
Yeah, I think they're not bad.
And as for your quarterbacks, where are you guys at right now? How do you feel about them?
I feel just fine.
How are you going to use them on during the scrimmage for the FanFest? Are they going to go back and forth, one half, second half?
No, they'll be alternating playing. If you've been at all practices, you realize that Maxwell and Christian are sometimes with the second team and sometimes with the first team. It's about equal. And that's the way it'll be in the scrimmage Saturday, too.
Do you still consider it to be a fairly close race between those two?
Yeah, I do. Mm-hmm.
Would you have thought that this far into camp?
I would have thought that after spring practice. I didn't think there was a clear-cut starting quarterback coming out of spring practice. That's why they're still competing, because neither one of them stepped ahead of the other that far that would make a difference, and it's kind of from day to day. I think we have to do once we get done scrimmaging this week, we have to do some creative things in practice so that the quarterbacks get used to pressure around them with them knowing that nobody's going to run into them. Because they're throwing the ball so much better than they did in the spring in 7-on-7 drills. But when it gets 11-on-11, they're not throwing it better than they did in the spring. So that just means they're not comfortable with all those bodies around, because obviously they know where to go with the ball and they've got good enough arms and good enough accuracy to get it there. But we got to get them more comfortable in the pocket with bodies running around them.
Coach, knowing how close that Chapman and Maxwell are together as far as where you're evaluating them, is there how long of a leash do you plan on giving whoever you name? And is there any chance where, say, Chapman or Maxwell can be used, maybe not as a starter, but in certain packages on offense?
That's an excellent question. I'll discuss that with our offensive coordinator, because there are teams that are okay with two quarterbacks, with a dual quarterback system, and they're so close right now. I don't see that as, or I do see that as a possibility. Because it's just like pitchers. If he's having a bad day, you get him out and put the other guy in. He might have a good day. I mean, if you have two of them that you're confident in and one happens to be hot, there's no reason playing the other one. If he's not hot, there might be a good possibility the other one's coming in to see if he'll get hot. That's great, yeah.
Coach, just based on experience alone, and you mentioned about Maxwell playing in the SC in front of the crowds and whatnot, it seems like he would be kind of the easier pick, considering his experience and all that. What has Christian done to kind of make it so close of a competition?
I think he's performed just as well in practice. I mean, you base what they do in practice. You don't base, if a young man has not been in your program, you don't base decisions on what he did someplace else. He's got to prove it to you that he's the guy. And I think it's almost daily. It might be drill-wise. You know, we do 7-on-7 or Skelly twice in practice, and the first one of them's hitting everything and the other one's not, and then the next one it's just the other one hitting every throw, and the first guy that was hot the first time is not in the second one. So I think it's a great competition, which should make them both better, which overall gives us a better situation at quarterback, because we got two we think can play, as opposed to one and hoping that he doesn't get hurt.
Is Christian's mobility pretty significant to you?
I don't think it's that much different. He's faster. When he does see a scramble lane, he gets through it a lot faster than Maxwell does, yes. I think they both move around in the pocket about the same. Christian's going to have to be better in the pocket because he's shorter.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to have to move and find holes to throw to better than Maxwell, because Maxwell will be able to throw it over the top of him sometimes. Christian can. He's got to find holes to throw it in.
Is there any patience issue with Christian, you think, on 11, as far as him standing in and not deciding to run too early?
I don't think so. I mean, I haven't seen that out of him. In fact, if you were there, you watched scrimmage today, Maxwell was a lot quicker to start scrambling around than Christian was.
Coach, who do you anticipate not playing on Saturday?
I anticipate that the veteran guys that we know can play, you won't see them much. Okay? So what you'll see is a bunch of guys that are trying to earn a spot where they're going to get playing time when we start playing games. So I anticipate them being better than they were today.
But in terms of injuries, though? Like,
Injury?
Yeah.
I must have misunderstood. I don't worry about injuries. I mean, what's the difference between scrimmaging and playing a game? You lose guys in the very first game, you don't have them the rest of the year. I mean, the best way to become a good football player is to play football. If you're worried about injuries all the time, they don't get to play football except 12 times a year.
Right, but the guys that are injured now that possibly could make a return, say on Saturday.
Oh, you mean like
Richardson or like Sam Tye?
I don't think Sam Tye will.
Or Stamps?
I believe Stamps will. I don't know. You know, they all heal at a different pace. Daryl Richardson's just fine. He's got to get over it mentally. Have you ever had a twisted ankle?
No.
I have. Some of them can play with them, some of them can't. And most of it's mental.
Hey, Calvin, what's it like having Jake Feely back, just even in the fall camp, and I mean, going into the season as well?
Honestly, it's huge. It's huge for me as a linebacker and the rest of our linebacker core, and huge for our defense, and even bigger for our team. I mean, he's a great leader. He plays hard every single play. He knows the defense really well. And just having him out there, it's a great feeling knowing that he's with us on the defense and knowing that he's going to make a lot of plays for us this year.
Chase, what's your assessment of the offense at this point? You guys got a pretty stern, harsh talking to today by Coach Horton about the scrimmage. What do you guys need to do better?
I think we need to just practice better, really. We definitely have moments where we look very good and moments we look very bad. And I'll probably just say that's due to just, the longing of camp, just being in camp, and then you just get mentally, kind of drained and physically drained too. So, I mean, we just got to just pick it up and just practice better. I think we definitely have the talent to be great, so.
What do you feel like the strengths in camp have been for the offense? What have you seen that you've really liked?
I think the offensive line has stepped up, knowing that we lost a few offensive linemen. I think they stepped up big time, because that was definitely, I think, a question mark in my head. But I think they've done very well. And also the receivers look good too, so.
Malik, what do you think of the receivers?
Well, they're definitely stepping up from last year. They're doing real good. They're more aggressive. They're out there moving faster. They're just becoming overall better receivers as a group. Coach Cooper's doing a good job getting those guys ready for the season.
Would you say you guys are doing a pretty good job on defense in some of these scrimmages?
Oh yeah, I think we're doing good. We're holding our own. There's times where we're making mistakes, but I think overall we're doing pretty good this camp. We're keeping the chemistry up.
Malik, how much more comfortable do you feel at this time compared to last year at this time?
Oh, I'm extremely more comfortable. Last year going into this time, there was a question marks about the safeties and what we could do, and I was kind of nervous as well, but I'm more comfortable with having a year under my belt, a full year, and me and Trey and Naeem, but all the DBs in particular, we're all pretty gelled with each other, so it's a real comfortable feeling this year.
What stands out about J.J. Whitaker for you, Malik, as far as working with him? And
JJ is a leader. He leads by example. And if you watch him, you can see that. He doesn't just talk it; he also walks the walk. And I look up to him. He makes big plays for our defense, and he's a captain for our defense. And JJ, he's just an overall great player. It's nice to have him on the field with us. I believe he's one of the best corners in this conference.
Physically, he's not the biggest guy in the world.
Right. So
what do you think is the intangible for him?
He's a smart player. He knows he's not the biggest, but he's aggressive. So it doesn't matter how big you are. If you're aggressive and you're strong and you're willing to go out there and throw your body around, then that's all that matters. Size isn't anything. DJ is one of the littlest backs in this league, but he's the top rusher in this league. So size doesn't matter.
Do you kid with him about not being out on the field as much as?
Oh yeah, yeah. I always give DJ mess or JJ, both of them. I give both of them mess because they're, but just messing around, playing around.
Because ultimately you guys want them to be healthy, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Health. We need them for the entire season. So health is the number one thing.
Cal, anything to add to that as far as your own personal experiences with JJ?
Kind of like what Malik said. He's just a leader. He leads by example. I don't work with him that much, but just being just like an underclassman to him, just how he leads our team and our defense is huge for us, and I look up to him, and he's an awesome leader.
Chase, does not knowing who the quarterback is at this point have a toll on the offense, or is it not really playing a role for you guys right now?
I don't think it really plays a role. I think it kind of makes it actually a little more competitive because you're always looking like, man, who's going to make the play, who's going to make the next play. So, it's just whoever's going to step up and be that guy. Doesn't really matter. Just whoever's going to play. So.
Is there a quarterback that hands the ball off better than the other one?
No, they'll do it very well. So.
Calvin, Rocky's mentioned how just the depth at linebacker, more than likely he's going to end up playing a younger kind of guy behind you guys, behind you and Feely. Who's sticking out to you so far to Cal?
It's kind of hard to tell right now because we have a lot of younger guys, a couple of transfers. They're all learning the defense at the same time. A couple are learning it better. I'm not really sure who's sticking out. They all stick out in their own little ways. Some guys know it better, but some guys are getting out there and executing it better. Someone who, the scrimmage today, Tyler Morris did really well. Some kind of holding him back right now is his knee. He had ACL surgery last year. He went out there today and did really well. And then Austin White there, he's doing pretty well. He's learning the defense. And Randy Ricks, he's got a lot of potential. And so does Jay Henderson. Those guys are learning their things. They're trying to get some reps under their belt, get some experience. But, yeah, they're all looking pretty well. We still got a lot of room to improve, and Feely and I were trying to teach them and stuff. But they're all starting to do a lot better.
Do you feel like there's more on you? Because there's talk of like Feely, he stays for the freshman periods at the end of practice because he knows if you guys are going to be good this year, you guys are going to have to rely a bit on the freshmen. Does it put more on you to encourage them more to keep more of an eye on them, both on the field and off the field, just to make sure they're staying on task? And
oh yeah, that's the awesome thing about Feely. He has the opportunity to go inside as a veteran, but he stays out there with all the freshmen because he knows we need those guys for our linebacker core. So we're out there, we're trying to help those guys learn the plays, and it helps us helping them. So it honestly helps our skill set as well. But we know to be a successful linebacker core that we need those guys with us.
Are any of you guys playing regularly on special teams, kick returns?
I'm just on kick return.
Yeah, I'm on a depth chart for all of them.
Yeah.
Well, Chase, I'm curious about Bobby Houck, the special teams coach. What's your impression of him? what kind of stands out about how he's been with you guys so far?
I think he's a great teacher. He's been so far very charismatic and definitely just teaching. Cause it's my first time I'm a kick returner right now on the kick return, so he's definitely been helping me out, just teaching me what to do, and I think he's a great coach so far.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So you're back there on kick returns?
Yes.
Who are you back there with right now?
Me and Rashad Penny.
Okay. And does it feel pretty comfortable back there for you guys right now?
Yeah, very comfortable.
Is Lloyd doing most of the punt return stuff?
I don't think so. I think it's been Monte and Pumphrey. So, yeah, I'm not sure. I think that's what it is.
As a running back, it seems like for most coaches, they try to keep like guys like Pumphrey, the guys that contribute a lot off of special teams just because of the injury risk and whatnot. From your perspective, like you're completely open to that. Do you want to be on special teams? Is that something as a running back or like Pumphrey?
Yeah, definitely. Just anything to help the team, really. Yeah, I think special teams is great. You need special teams to win games. So I mean, if you could contribute that way to help the team win, it's definitely a must do.